Hello everyone, this is Tim with Paintball Tek. I'm going over a rebuild video for you guys today. This is one of the old Pure Energy high pressure regulators that was sold for use on some of the older guns, autocockers, automatics, things along those lines. Won't see a lot of these rigs on the market. They were very short-lived, but they still can be rebuilt to a certain extent if you come across one. Need a couple interesting tools. C-clip pliers to remove the clip here on the bottom. That's where we're going to start. C-clip comes off. This whole housing here slides off the bottom of the rag. We have two O-rings here. On the bottom, one at the top. Let's come off like that. Then on the top of the rag, on the bonnet section, standard 015 90 Duro. Go ahead and set this aside here. Now, to get this section separated from the bottom half, these are left-handed threads. So instead of going righty-tighty, lefty-loosey like you would normally do on a threaded piece, this comes off reverse. So as if you were screwing it on. That's what direction you use to remove it. That's why some of these are so difficult to get apart. A lot of people think that they unscrew the other way, or they're Loctite or whatever, but most of the time it's just set together tight like that, and it's a left-handed thread. So inside you have the spring, and then probably use a set of needle-nose pliers to get out the piston. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth until the pressure releases. This bonnet is very similar to the tank bonnets that old Pure Energy tanks use, except the threading is reversed. And then in the bottom of the rag is the adjuster, which is accessed through the bottom here. It's a 332. You just want to screw the screw all the way in, and eventually it'll push all the way through, and the adjuster piece and screw will come out. So the rest of it's hollow. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these old crumbled O-rings. This one is particularly nasty, and this one as well on the piston. Make sure that we clean up the piston itself as good as we can. We don't want any debris or residue from the old seals. That way we can keep the rag passages clean. We don't want any of this debris to get sent through the gun as well. I'm going to pull the seals off of the adjuster bottom. These are all pretty much disintegrated at this point because of the age of the rag. If you need to, these parts are stainless steel, so you can clean them through use a sonic cleaner if you have one, or like a small wire wheel, or like a Dremel wire wheel if you have a lot of goo or residue or something like that. And then the one seat on here that can't really easily be replaced is the rig seal here on the bottom of the piston. I'm sure if you got the right size punch and found out the material, you could pick this one out and replace it, but this one's in decent shape, so we're just going to leave that alone. Also make sure to clean out any debris in the bonnet. If there's any O-ring debris in there. Like I said, you don't want to send that through your gun if possible. Okay. Now to replace these seals, I'm going to start with the reg top reg piston. This is going to be a 012, number 12 for that. One on the bottom should be a 008, which those are the same sizes you would use in a Pure Energy tank regulator. And then for this lower piston, these are also going to be 008s. Originally these would have been all polyurethane seals, however you can use Buna with them if you're just going to use compressed air with this system. Then the O-rings on the bottom housing here are going to be size 013s. Okay. And then of course the 015 here on the top. Standard tank ring. Now for reassembly. The adjuster screw is going to go in first. Easiest way I found to do this to get it to thread easily is put your 332 Allen key all the way up and put the screw on top, and then use a punch or another Allen key or something like that to press it all the way down so that you can start the threading very easily, like that. Let's run it down a few turns. Then you're going to want to grease the threads, or the the O-rings on your adjuster piston, lower adjuster piston. This is just a clear silicone grease. This is Dow 7 or Super Lube, something along those lines. Then this just gets pressed back down into the housing. Be careful not to damage this point, because that's the part that seals against the reg seat. And you have your spring that goes in there. Then we're going to grease the main piston. Same type of grease. And reassemble the reg top. Remember, these being left-hand threads. They just need to be kind of hand tight. Add a light coat of grease to your swivel rings here on the bottom. And you can put the bottom swivel back on. And then reattach the C-clip that holds everything together. And there you have it. Now you're going to want to test your output of this reg before you put it on a gun. The screw for adjustment is the farther in you go, the lower the pressure is going to be. And the farther out you go, the higher the pressure is going to be. So if you screw this all the way in until it stops, that should be 0 or close to 0. And then the more you unscrew it, the higher your pressure is going to get. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.